Welcome back, you conquerors of the world map. We are back in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, where in another successive episode in this The Adventures of Cloud, the Destroyer of Worlds, we are being immediately accosted by guards as soon as we enter a place. Why? Because our reputation precedes us.
Alright, so last part we ended up with a total bounty of about 152,000.
Yep, and if you do your math right, that means that the number of murders that you've committed is somewhere between 140 and 150, and counting.
Now, it very much looks like Bravil is actually one of the lower income cities in Tamriel.
Damn straight.
So is this is Bravil where you would actually start your Thieves Guild training?
No, but you do have to come through Bravil for Thieves Guild purposes. Which purposes, I can't say. It's just as a rule of thumb, all of the guilds have some relevance in each of the areas in the game. Otherwise, well, why bother? Why bother making some areas the favorite and others not so much so? Your Thieves Guild exploration actually begins in the Imperial City waterfront, where if you ask around, you will find among the beggars information as to the whereabouts of the Thieves Guild higher-ups. You don't get to talk to the Grey Fox right away, but you can at least get into the guild and begin proper.
Speaking of, I'm pretty sure I asked this like a couple of parts ago, but that was so long ago that I don't remember. Are we gonna get to kill the Grey Fox?
No, you can't. You can't kill the Grey Fox. The Grey Fox is an essential character. Attacking the Grey Fox will cause you to become suspended from the Thieves Guild because like the other guilds in the game, including the Dark Brotherhood, there are rules, and if you break the rules, then you get punished, typically by expulsion or suspension from the organization whose rules you had violated.
I noticed that we're doing a bit more dodge rolling all of a sudden.
It was a little thing that I had discovered. Yes, as you discover many things in Oblivion, be sure that you at least take a moment to consider whether the thing you've discovered is advantageous to your game experience or detracting. I found that the ability to dodge roll actually was quite comfortable, somewhat useful, and also really cool to watch in third-person mode. In first-person mode, you lose the part where you can actually see your character backflipping or forward rolling or dodging to the side. But what rolling does is that it adds another layer of, oh, I can do this to the game. Where, okay, there are 4 enemies attacking me, right? So I don't want to get attacked by 4 enemies at once. I would like to minimize the number of incoming strikes, and you can do that by removing yourself from the field of combat by doing a dodge roll. As a note on dodge roll, you have to be at least a journeyman in acrobatics in order to do so, and because I did some acrobatics grinding while I was doing my restoration grinding, and because acrobatics is one of my major skills, and I automatically started in level 25 in it, it became relatively easy to get up to the journeyman level so that you can do dodge rolls. I also think that dodge rolling is faster than walking.
But it expends stamina slightly faster, right?
Well, walking and running consumes no stamina whatsoever. Dodge rolling does.
No, does dodge rolling consume more stamina than sprinting does?
You can't sprint in this game.
Oh.
Yeah, that's one major difference between this game and Skyrim. Skyrim gives you a sprint option that consumes stamina. Oblivion, your running speed is locked to your athletics and your speed attribute. Damn it.
Gallius, get back here so we can stab you with fireballs. Thank you.
I'm taking your pants and you're going to like it.
Well, I mean, Mr. Cloud, I kind of still have my pants on, so...
It's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon somewhere. I was going for Family Guy. I was going for a Family Guy joke with that. And I still continue to be pleased that I run into people in my daily life who can appreciate the humor of early season Family Guy. You should hang on to people like that. They are special.
We're up to $179,000 on our bounty.
We've only just begun. And now for something completely different.
But, well, these are silver dishes. I don't think that we actually have the ability to break them just by punching them. Pretty sure we'd have to drop them in order to actually break them. Stop!
Punch the things, punch the things. Stop!
You got nearly 1,000 freaking bounty from punching dishes.
Crime and punishment. Punishment and crime.
But, like, they're silver dishes. You're not actually going to deal significant damage by punching them.
Well, I mean, upset the table arrangement. And also, if enough time passes, the game will just reset the arrangement of the objects on tables, like inside the castle. You cannot only in certain areas of the game, like for example, in a house that you own, can you create permanent changes to the arrangements of objects inside these areas. Otherwise, areas will reset after a period of about, I think it's 1 in-game week.
Okay.
Now, would you like some fruit punch?
Depends what flavor.
Hawaiian punch.
Hawaiian punch. So it's a bit sweeter than it's supposed to be. Fine.
Delicious Hawaiian punch. With that stupid character on the front that looks like he's half squinting. If you're ever feeling gored, you can always have some fun punching the objects according to the Havoc physics engine in this, Oblivion, the future of physics-based technology in video games.
This is not the future. Isn't this effectively the same Havoc engine that was ported into Morrowind?
Probably. Because Havoc was... I hope it goes down in history that Havoc was... And still to this very day is one of the most widely used game physics engines in history.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Havoc goes as far back as 2002, to be perfectly honest.
I think Havoc actually goes as far back as 1998.
Ooh. So what game in 98 do you think actually had Havoc in it?
I was going to say Super Smash Brothers, but I think that would be a stretch.
I don't think Smash 1 has got Havoc in it. But
I mean,
but there probably is at least a title. Yeah, actually, come to think of it, I wager that Superman 64's got Havoc in it because Superman 64 is notorious for having vehicles clip in and out of reality.
Well, we're talking about okay, but vehicles clipping in and out of reality that would depend on them being able to move through space, and they move through space according to rules, but the rules break down because nothing in Superman 64 works.
Right.
Makes perfect sense. Anyone else taking a stroll on this rather muggy day we found ourselves in?
It is still raining. Why is it still raining?
You're right. The weather actually followed us from Leowin to here.
I mean, the weather following us is fine, but again, we've rested. I want to say we've rested for actually 17 hours at this point.
Okay, so we did have to advance to the daytime because I realized during recording, like, what the hell is the point in a video if you can't see what is happening on the video because it's too dark? I'm looking at you, Francis Ford Coppola, if you're still alive. Godfather Part 2. Bunch of bullshit.
No, come on. Godfather Part 2 might actually have that as a significant problem. I don't know. I've never watched any of the Godfather movies, but very specifically, when I think of movies that were shot far too dark, I always think of Les Mis, because Les Miserables, what was it, 2011 film adaptation, has got an entire half hour where the movie is effectively just a black screen. It is nuts.
Yeah, and they do that for thematic purposes. They do that because it's dark in vision means like dark in consciousness, melancholy, malaise,
and
morose,
and attempting to meet in secret, because that is the love triangle plot line that they're attempting to resolve.
And then there are other scenes, too, which are actually supposed to be funny, like in the classic cartoons where the light will go out and you can only see, like, a couple eyeballs, like, twinkling in the dark. And then that pair of eyeballs is joined by another pair of eyeballs that's just floating in space, but because the character that joined is taller, that the eyeballs are actually located at a higher altitude than the previous one.
Scooby-Doo did that a lot.
Yes. No, and, for the purposes of showing what's going on in Oblivion, I suppose that's one of the beauty of using a fire spell in order to incinerate our foes to pieces, is because suddenly we have a lot of candles. We are a lighter of candles, and you are the wick and tallow.
Although, I would argue that it would have made more sense to actually be a lightning touch spell at this point over a fire spell.
Raiden, Kano, Johnny Cage, Sonya, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. Elder Scrolls 4! Hey, Mr. Gerda, did you notice that we couldn't attack the character through the door earlier?
A bit, yeah. Why?
Do you think that that is a good aspect of the game or a bad one?
For our purposes, it's actually a bad one, but in general, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that walls, although it's... If I set off a grenade launcher in your closet and you're hiding in there because you're hiding behind a very easy to pick lock, but I don't have any lock picks left. Like, for God's sake, like do some splash damage or something.
Actually, that brings me to an aspect of the game that I've not actually attempted to find out before. When we summon like Antiochs and other demonoids, do we have the ability to transposition ourselves with their locations?
Well, so summon creatures, you can soul trap them, you can fight them. They don't fight back, or do they?
I don't know. It's not a part of the game that I've ever actually done any exploring in.
I mean, conjure creatures are cool. It's a mode of the game. Do you want to fight enemies on your own power? Do you want to summon creatures who will do all the fighting for you? Or would you like to do a combination, which is the most common of the three?
I don't like you much.
That's fine. Here, have a fireball.
I don't like you very much either. I don't even know you.
Alright, so apparently we've cleaned out most of Bravil.
Yeah, but there's still some other areas. Where is it? Where is it?
That's an aspect that I've never actually explored that much in, specifically in Oblivion either. I know that there are lots of different homes that you can purchase. There's at least one in every town. Which of the houses would you think is actually best for a casual experience?
Bravil.
Okay.
Yes, buy property in Bravil, and then go to the shop in town where you could buy your furniture. All you have to do is just buy a single cabinet. You buy a single cabinet, boom, you have permanent storage space for the rest of the game, and it only costs you like not even 5,000 gold. For a casual run. if you want to be the freaking master of Oblivion, then you got to buy property and you got to buy furniture for all the respective said properties in every single domain in the game, including the ritziest, the glitziest, found right in Skingrad.
Why is Skingrad the upper echelon of wealth, though? That is a terrible name for a wealthy city.
Right? Like skin graft surgery.
Yeah, like if we were gonna rate cities based on how wealthy and affluent they sound, I would argue that Leyawiin and Cheydinal should actually be up at the top of that list.
Yeah, but Leyawiin sucks. It doesn't suck quite as much as Bravil, but Leyawiin still sucks. It's muggy, it's damp, it's noisy at night. There are mosquitoes. Terrible place to live, I say. Dark photography. We meet again. Because in this game, if you have your dukes up, you can't be okay, it's not that I can't be holding a torch. It's that I am not holding a torch right now.
Right.
Also, yes, you can loot corpses while you're sitting down.
No, which is an interaction that you only sometimes have to do.
Have to do, right. Because sitting down is only relevant to the Shivering Isles because you can't enter the Shivering Isles proper until you, take a seat.
Okay, so what is the main quest that Nor is tied to?
all good questions, Mr. Gridhead. All good questions. The thing though is that you're up against two things. One is I've never 100%ed Oblivion because I think that 100%ing Oblivion is a bad idea.
100%
and two,
any of the
are
Elder Scrolls games is a bad idea.
There are so many quests in this game that, well, it's hard to tell who's relevant as which pertains to what.